There's the auxiliary. I had to make a little tool, and I'll show you what it is. When you're taking out Allison 545 bolts, you have just this little bit of room up here. As you can see, there's not much. I mean, there's my hand. It's tiny. So, what I had to do, I'll show you. There's 5 bolts here. One of them's already in the bus, as I got it out yesterday. They're 15mm head bolts. This is a 15mm socket, but as you can see, it's a 12-point, and these are 6-point bolts, and you can see they're very easy to round off. So, here's a solution I came up with for the time being, and it worked very good. As you can see, I have a pair of vice grips and a socket. This is a 6-point 15mm socket right there, and I've ground the sides of the head smooth. And I should probably grind it a little bit shorter, but so what I do is to get a good grip on those bolts, put the vice grips on it, and they're set pretty tight so it can't move. And then you just fish it up in there like so. Now, why am I taking my transmission off? Well, if you heard in my double shifting video, I'm sure you heard this little clanging noise that kind of sounded, let's see here, I need this wrench, kind of sounded like, that's the flywheel, okay? So what I've figured out is that we thought the starter right there was rubbing on the flywheel. Starter is not rubbing on the flywheel. At least we don't think so. We're pretty sure it's not. But I did notice something here. I want you to look at this. So here is the tray of the automatic transmission fluid. Let's see if I can do this. Let me come back over here. Apparently it won't work. But if you look, let's see if I can do this from back here. There's the transmission. See that shake? That is the Bellhousing adapter. I don't know if you saw that shake good, but the transmission's moving up and down about an inch. Let's see if I can do it again here. Let's see if I can set the camera right about here so you can see. Okay. Let's see if I can just aim it right and put a light on. There we go. Okay, so you're looking at the transmission. Now I'm just picking it up from the tail shaft. The engine is not moving. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, if you look in the upper right corner of the engine there, you'll see right over there, right there, that's a freeze plug on the back of my passenger side head. And if you notice, it's not moving, but the transmission is moving a shitload. So, the noise that I've been hearing is in fact a bolt that holds that to the back of the engine, that adapter. And if I come and slide back over here, it's this piece right here. So you can see there's the edge of it in the back of the block. Let me turn some light on here so you can see. There's the back of the block. Okay, and here's the, am I zoomed in? Oh, I'm sorry, I was zoomed in like crazy. No wonder it was looking kind of funny. Alright, so it's this right here. There's the back of the block. This is the SAE 2 to 3 adapter, because the Allison here has a SAE 3 Bellhousing. And so it's really loose, and it's rubbing on that flywheel. So we're going to see, I have new bolts in the bus. So we're going to, and there's the inside of the cab right there. So we're going to pull the transmission out. I know I'm getting pretty good at taking out Allisons. This will be number 3rd try. And while I have the transmission out, we're going to examine the flex plate to make sure that it didn't crack again, because it has been moving. It's been, moving about that much, maybe an inch, or it's enough to where it looked kind of funny. Basically, when the motor was running, the flywheel right here would stay steady, but the flex plate here would kind of do this. So that's a problem, and I think that's the root of why the root of all the problems I've had. While I'm in there, you can see it's kind of oily and messy here. That's from the rear main seal, and it's right up here in the very middle of the flex plate. So, or flywheel, I should say. So we're going to try to replace that too. That would stop some oil leakage. This right here is a neat little tool for when you do that. It's a little trigger, and you clip one of these leads to your main starter cable from the battery, your main positive cable on your starter, and then you clip the other lead, I use this one, to the wire that comes from your starter switch in the vehicle. And that way when you're down there, instead of having to turn the motor over by hand, you just click that, and it's like turning the key. So you just bump it and, bring it around to get these bolts in. So we'll walk over here. As you can see right here, this is that's a smoke cloud. That's not a thunderstorm cloud. And luckily the smoke is going away from here. The fire is, so I don't have to worry about throwing this all together all at once. There's the tranny dipstick. So I'm going to try to drop the transmission without having to screw with the dropping the dipstick. Here's all my other wonderful bolts, and this is the other flex plate bolt. So I have all 6 in here now. So it's free. So I just got to take all that apart again. Anyway, this is the drive shaft between the auxiliary and the main. Shifters right there. Ooh, that's kind of bright, isn't that? Yeah, there's the shifter. Cover and everything. So I might as well show you the new bolts I got. So there's 6 of them, and let me pull one out. My wonderful suppliers found these for me, but that's all it is. This is the bolt that holds that piece on. So I'm hoping that I don't have any broken bolts down there. We'll find out soon enough, but if you want to double check that sound, go watch my double shifting video again, shifting the 2 shifters, and while I'm idling at stop, you'll hear it in the background over me talking. Anyway, so more to come. Thanks for watching, everybody. So I'm looking at the back of the engine here, and so here's our problem. This is one bolt right here. That's how it was sitting in there. This thing was a ticking time bomb. Looks like, yeah, that bolt's looser than shit. That one's loose. You can see where the flywheel's worn these 2 off. That was our problem. What a mess. So, I don't see how this rear main... Oh, okay, I see how it comes out. I think I'm just going to leave the rear... I don't know if I'll change the rear main seal or not. That's going to be a bitch. But, so yeah, that's... I can't... Oh, hell, that one's broken. So, continuing where we left off, I got a phone call. So, freeze plug there looks good. That one looks good. So, yeah. This bolt is the only one that's tight. The rest of these bolts are looser than shit. This one, when you look in there, I mean, it looks, you can see crap in there, but it's not broken off in there, so that's good. And this one, yeah, they're just dirty. It's like somebody didn't put thread locker or anything in this. Probably the guys at the Tomball bus barn. So, that's okay. It is what it is. This bolt doesn't even want to go back in. Oh, so I got my work cut out for me. There's the flywheel flex plate. Now this line right there looks a little scary at first, but it's just a marking, it's not a crack. Because you can, if you look at the surface of the metal, it doesn't show up as a crack. So I don't think I'm going to have to magnaflux this. And if you give me just a second here, let's see if we can set the camera up and look at me. So here's the back of the flywheel. And you can barely see where the bolts have been rubbing. This is one tough flywheel. So anyway, that's where we're at so far. So tomorrow I'll come change these bolts. Maybe have this sucker up and running. We'll just have to see. So anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for watching.